As the New Orleans Saints gear up for the 2025 NFL season, they've made a significant move by hiring former Los Angeles Chargers head coach Brandon Staley as their new defensive coordinator. While Staley has a fresh slate to work with on the defensive side of the ball, he has some key decisions to make regarding the coaches he wants to bring on board. With only a few defensive coaches from last season sticking around, Staley needs to fill out his staff with experts in every area. Defensive line, linebackers, safeties, and cornerbacks among the coaches that could potentially join Staley's staff. There are several strong candidates who have worked with him in the past and have the expertise needed to make an impact in New Orleans. Here's a breakdown of 6 coaches who could be in line to join Staley in shaping the Saints' defense. 1. Harris, 37 years old. Harris previously worked under Staley as an assistant defensive backs coach in 2023 before taking on the role of defensive backs coach for the Florida Gators in 2024. His work in Gainesville led to substantial improvements in the defense, including an increase in key statistics such as sacks, forced fumbles, and interceptions. With his ties to Staley and his success at Florida, Harris could be a strong candidate to join the Saints' defensive staff, though he may be tempted to stay at Miami. 2. Donatel, 68 years old, a longtime Vic Fangio disciple. Donatel has significant experience coaching defensive backs at both the professional and collegiate levels. His last job was as the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator in 2022, and he has worked with Staley previously at the Chicago Bears and Denver Broncos. Though he's been out of football for a few years, his wealth of experience could prove valuable to the Saints. 3. Henderson, 42 years old, a New Orleans native. Henderson has worked under Staley as the Los Angeles Rams defensive line coach and run game coordinator. He's currently co-defensive coordinator, defensive line coach, and run game coordinator at USC, making it challenging to pry him away from Southern California. However, his familiarity with Staley's coaching style and his local ties to New Orleans could make him a compelling option. 4. Rodgers, 48 years old. Rodgers has extensive experience coaching defensive lines, including a role as defensive line coach for the Atlanta Falcons in 2024. Having previously worked with Staley on the Chargers' defensive staff, Rodgers could return to help lead the Saints' defensive line. His experience and availability make him a realistic candidate for Staley's staff. 5. Tyneux, 32 years old. Tyneux has experience as an assistant coach under Staley on the Chargers' coaching staff. Currently an assistant with the Atlanta Falcons, it's unclear whether he'll be retained for the 2025 season, but his background as a former pro linebacker and his time with Staley make him an intriguing option to join the Saints. 6. Nolan, 65 years old. Nolan brings a wealth of experience, having served as the Saints linebackers coach for 3 successful years before working as the head coach of the UFL's Michigan Panthers. His experience coaching linebackers and his successful stint in the UFL could make him a great addition to Staley's staff, especially in a mentorship capacity. With Staley's leadership and the potential arrival of these talented coaches, the Saints' defense is primed for a strong future.